If you take it off and if you start chipping away at that mountain, then I promise you, by the time it comes to exam season, you'll be fully prepared, you'll be fine, and you will be laughing at the people who didn't take this piece of advice and are cramming the night before their exams.
Just Work Tutoring.
Hello everyone, Joanna Wilson here for day 13 of 20 days to plan, a 20-day series building up to the launch of the first ever Just Work physical product, the Just Work Academic Planner. Today we're going to be talking about the differences between GCSEs and A-levels. It has just been GCSE results day, and I know a lot of you are moving on to college and moving on to doing A-levels, so I really want to prepare you the best I can to cope with that transition. A lot of people say that the jump from GCSE to A-levels in terms of academia is the biggest jump you will do, and I would probably agree with that. I'd say going from A-levels to university, yes, we have to slightly adapt to the learning style, but in terms of difficulty of content and in terms of the amount of work that we've got to cope with, I don't feel like that's as big a jump as the one from GCSE to A-levels. So like I say, I want to prep you for that. The first thing I would say is going from around 10 or 11 subjects to 3 to 4 may seem like there's going to be a lot less work. This is counterintuitive. The workload is going to increase, I promise you. And I think it's nice in a way because we're only doing 3 to 4 subjects. And hopefully those subjects are ones that we're really passionate about. But be prepared for there to be the same amount of work, if not more, for 3 to 4 subjects that there were for the 11 that you were doing for your GCSEs. It's just going to be more work on a particular subject. One thing that is vital when it gets to sixth form is independence. You have got a lot more independence. It's up to you whether you attend lessons. It's up to you what work you do afterwards. It's up to you how you organise your notes. It's up to you how you make it best for you to come back and learn from them. Taking that independence in your hand and running with it is a really, really beneficial thing to do. You've got to be strict with yourself. You've got to set out a regimented timetable. And it's probably the first time that you've done this off your own back. And it's nice because you start to see how you learn best and you start to mould into the type of person and studier that you are. You are not going to get chased up like you did when you were doing your GCSEs and you were at lower school. Be really, really careful how you choose your time and what you choose to do, because at the end of the day, what you put in is what you are going to get out. And speaking of what you put in is what you are going to get out, that is actually my next point. Now, GCSEs, you may be one of these people, you may know some of these people that were crammed for 4 hours the night before and have come out with all 8s and 9s or 7s, 8s and 9s. This will not happen at A-level. It is pretty impossible to get great results off the back of little work. You need to put in the work. A-levels are challenging and A-levels will test you, and the exams are a lot trickier than GCSEs, so it is going to take 2 long years of work to be able to come out with those top grades. So start early and be prepared to have a lot on your plate. But if you take it off and if you start chipping away at that mountain, then I promise you, by the time it comes to exam season, you'll be fully prepared, you'll be fine, and you will be laughing at the people who didn't take this piece of advice and are cramming the night before their exams. So another difference between GCSEs and A-levels is note taking. So the way my sixth form worked is when we were in lower school, we'd get a book for every lesson. This is not the same in sixth form. We can take our own notes and we provide our own resources. So check out tomorrow's video because I'm going to be talking about a lot of the resources you need for your A-levels. But in terms of note taking, this is down to you, and it's up to you to determine what style of note taking you like best. Now, some schools may allow you to bring your laptops to take notes on your laptops. Others, it may just be pen and paper, but you need to decide, are you going to buy your own book and do it all in one book? Are you going to use lined paper and get folders, which is what I did. I used lined paper for my notes and then put them all in nice ring binders so it was all set out really clearly into sections. Think about how you're going to take the notes, because again, this is on you when you start your A-levels, and it's really important to establish your note-taking style as early as possible to save you having to go back and redo things when you figure out the best way for you. And the last difference that I would like to talk about today is lessons and free periods. One thing that I would say is, and I've touched upon it earlier in the video, you don't really have to go to your lessons. You might get chased up a little bit, but it is down to you. Simply and plainly, go to them. You don't know how much you're going to be playing catch up if you don't go to those lessons. You've got to be in it to win it, and going to the lessons, receiving the content, hearing it from someone who is an expert in that field is going to be so much easier than trying to teach yourself it later down the line. Go to your lessons unless there's a really severe reason that you can't, and be prepared to listen, be ready to take your notes, etc, etc. Free periods. So it's probably the first time in your academic career that you've got free periods, and it is very easy to slip into chilling with friends, doing stuff, playing games, going out, going to the gym, stuff like that during your free periods. I would say for 1 or 2 free periods a week, that is fine, but I cannot emphasize how important it is to use those free periods to the best of your ability. And what I used to do is I used to use my free periods to do homework, which then meant the time that I spent away from school and at home, I could spend solely on revision. People like to do it the other way around. They like to revise in their free periods, but using that time so wisely is key to success in your A-levels. So there we have it, a couple of differences between GCSEs and A-levels. I hope this was insightful. Comment down below anything that you are worried about in terms of your A-levels, and I'll hopefully address those in the comments. Yeah, keep smashing it, and remember, anything is possible if you just work. Bye!